Hello, everyone. Thank you, Oliver and Laura, for hosting again this second public hearing. We are grateful for the opportunity to speak here today. I know you all came to comment on our proposal, and I know you have a lot of questions. I am going to try to anticipate those questions and answer them as best I can. As Oliver said, I am Meg Handler. I am a member of Responsible Wakes for Vermont Lakes, and I live on Lake Iroquois in Heinsberg, Vermont. This picture was taken last Thursday in Richmond. It shows members of our group meeting for the first time in person, right before the public hearing, up in the northern part of the state. We are a much larger group than this, of course. Only a fraction could make it in person to the hearing. But as you can see, we are a group of very ordinary people who came together well over a year ago from all over the state, from at least 15 different lakes and ponds, from a variety of different backgrounds, all motivated by a concern about wake boats and what they might be doing to our lakes and ponds. We who enjoy the water in all different ways. We are motorboaters, kayakers, water skiers, paddleboarders, sailors, tubers, rowers. We swim, we fish, we stare at the water and do nothing. We watch birds, we look for turtles. You name it, our members are doing it. Over a year ago, we came together and started looking at the problems posed by wake boats. We met regularly over Zoom to figure out what we should do. We posed questions to one another and to ourselves. We developed action items, and then we ran off to find answers and think over solutions. We argued and challenged one another repeatedly. In the end, we developed a set of principles to guide us. Follow the science, feel empathy for those who enjoy wake sports, protect the environment, ensure water safety. We looked up all the published research we could find. We referenced all the studies. We did not cherry pick, ignoring studies that might not support our ideas. Instead, we included and addressed everything we found. I realize many of you have not read the entire petition. I don't blame you. It is exhaustive, long, detailed, technical. It is an impressive piece of work put together over a year's time by dedicated people trying hard to do the right thing. Beyond that, we talked to people all over the country and in Canada. This is a national movement. There are individuals and groups wrestling with this, working to support thoughtful management of wake boats in states across the country. We connected with national groups, we analyzed data, we developed ideas, discussed them, rejected them. We advocated and argued for different ideas amongst ourselves, determined to come up with a plan that was fair, balanced, based in science, and relevant to all the inland lakes and ponds in Vermont. We worked on this a long time to come up with our proposed rule. The rule is straightforward. 1,000 feet from shore, 20 feet of depth, more than 60 acres. As you can see, this rule does not ban wake boats. People who love wake sports are free to practice their sport on many lakes throughout Vermont. Lake Champlain and Lake Memphremagog are not affected by this rule. Bomoseen, Willoughby, Caspian, Dunmore, Morey, St. Catherine, and many other lakes have wake sport zones where boarding and surfing will continue. What this rule does is to recognize that not all activities are appropriate to all locations. Our proposed rule conforms to common practice. We already balance different recreational interests all the time, all across the state. I have dogs that I like to walk off leash, but there are some places I can do that and some places where I can't. There are places where people can ski but not snowshoe, operate snowmobiles but not ATVs, hike but not mountain bike but not hike. The most relevant example of this is jet skis. There are lakes in Vermont where people can operate jet skis, but there are other lakes, smaller lakes, where jet skis are prohibited. Again, our proposed rule does not ban wake boats. It simply designates places where wake sports are appropriate and places where they are not. Wake boats are different from other boats. Wake boats are intentionally designed to create giant waves suitable for doing tricks or for surfing behind a boat, much like surfing on ocean waves. To accomplish this, wake boats take on weight in large ballast tanks that are filled with lake water to weigh down the back of the boat. New technology is being developed all the time to create as big a wake as possible. An artificially enhanced wake sends huge waves out behind the boat. In addition, the powerful engine is angled downward, blasting a stream of water down toward the bottom of the lake. In certain circumstances, this design has unintended consequences for lake ecology and for other people trying to enjoy the lake. Large waves create problems for people by swamping kayaks and canoes, bowling over swimmers, especially children, crashing onto shore and damaging docks and boats. Our petition includes many stories told by people who have experienced these problems firsthand. Large waves create problems for the environment by crashing onto the shore, causing shoreline erosion, which not only ruins the shoreline, but also disrupts wildlife and adds unwanted phosphorus back into suspension in the water. Phosphorus makes the water murky and feeds algae blooms. Powerful engines angled down stir up mud and plants in shallow water, sending plumes of dirt up into the water, again adding phosphorus to the lake. And those same engines uproot and churn up invasive plants like Eurasian water milfoil, allowing them to fragment and spread throughout the lake. Wake boats can also contribute to the spread of aquatic invasive species through their large ballast tanks. These tanks cannot be completely emptied. When wake boats travel from lake to lake, they can transport invasive plants like milfoil from one lake to another, spreading them throughout the state. I know I said this before, but I cannot stress it enough. Our proposed rule does not ban wake boats. And more importantly, this proposed rule does not touch the many other fun activities that people currently enjoy on Vermont's lakes and ponds. It does not touch water skiing or tubing or even wakeboarding behind a conventional motorboat. Wake boats are a small niche category, relatively new to the state. Wake boats cost a lot of money. There are not that many people here in Vermont using wake boats right now, and a whole lot of people doing other things. We think now is the right time to act here in Vermont because people across the country are warning us about what is coming our way. We see what is happening in other states, and we see that this sport is growing fast. Before long, where there were 3 wake boats, there will be 10, or 20, or 50. How many will be too many? What do we gain by waiting until our lakes are overrun? Right now, this rule will not affect a lot of people because most people enjoying Vermont's lakes and ponds are not taking part in wake sports. Right now, this proposed rule stands to impact very few people. This proposed rule actually stands to benefit the vast majority of lake users and offers the opportunity to enhance and preserve our water quality for generations to come. There are individuals and organizations across Vermont, in other states, and even in Canada supporting this petition. We have over 30 letters of support from lake associations, town conservation commissions, select boards, local and state environmental groups, fishing groups, and many others. Names you might recognize supporting this petition: Sierra Club, Audubon Vermont, Vermont Natural Resources Council, Vermont Center for Eco Studies, Connecticut River Conservancy, Trout Unlimited, and many, many more. We are hopeful that DEC will appreciate how many people support this petition. We are hopeful that DEC will recognize what is happening in the wake sport industry. And we are hopeful that DEC will anticipate future growth of these wake-enhanced sports and will act quickly to manage wake boats now to preserve our future, a future filled with all the natural beauty and diverse recreational opportunities that we enjoy and appreciate here in Vermont. Please support and adopt the proposed rule to manage wake boats on Vermont's inland lakes and ponds.